Samope, Sampadia, Chimafidi non cotu, era one radio. Samope, Jumpadia, Chimafidi non cotu, era one radio. Oh, and Jumpamchima, Asampamchima.
Hello, beautiful people of Ghana. This is Banahine Specialist Hospital. We are so excited to announce to our people Ghana that we are finally opened and we are accepting patients. At Banahine Specialist Hospital, our extraordinary physicians and nurses are here to provide a high-quality medical service to our extraordinary patients. Our services include primary care services, maternal, neonatal, and pediatric services. We also have an in-house pharmacy. We have X-ray and laboratory services available to you. Come to us for all your healthcare needs, and you will be happy you did because we believe the health is wealth. Thank you, and stay blessed.
Good evening, Era One Radio listeners. We are broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube, and also Modern Ghana Radio. In case you just join us, the number to call in is 2402-802-633, or if you want to text us, it's 510-9310946. Tonight, we want to welcome you to our Health is Wealth show, Protect It. And I'm here in the studio with Dr. Ernest Opoku Agyeman. It's here for you, Nyame Adom ya senhia. Mama adwo bia obi oha baby a woni ya na panti ma wache na se awia soso a ya ma ha ti baby a wutie mfi bia no ye invite you Era One Radio ye dwumedi ye wo Facebook and YouTube person first so no man ye 2402-802-633 na person text so 510-9310946 minute Dr. Opoku Agyeman and the studio here enyimbe doc akwaba. All right. Inti enyimbre ebeye impense mo kakra yebeka bibi about healthcare. We'll be looking at the components of healthcare, the characteristics. We'll look at the units of healthcare. We'll also tackle insurance, doctor's office, and the patient's role. I'm sure we're not going to finish all tonight. So wherever we get to, we'll call it a night and we'll continue. All right, docs. Now, I started with updates kakra. And now mo yantia sempa. Until he breathing for him ba coupe Queen Elizabeth wakan chinegu ma no so fina ABC nti ne ba Penny Charles me namesake am saying ko nim say wa twan o pass on chen no person ma me ko be wood wa twan na firi abeto ne lies so and the second update no see last week baby ne say Ghana for junior doctors almost 1,000 almost residency housemanship almost near jumenti I say ya come so coffee inti no so health issue no then I work on
yes the can yama Queen Elizabeth neba Prince Charles yama no yako na ne mami enu so ya sama mu na yako because mu na mu grandma na ewu you know, I'm gonna share one more condolence. They are still in it. In terms of Ghana, it's very hard for me to explain why issues I see on. Now, they will believe this. I have financial difficulties, and the government himself, internet and common yakaka CBR.
Mpatcha no a room and I say a verified because me share that
me mati ho asem kakra wo YouTube ne woman radio discussions be more now I think that issue there that I think the government is working to resolve it. You know, mean is a better
Okay, all right. Yeah, hope say to come to that point where they will be gainfully employed, because I believe that if it is true and verified, then I think we have more doctors who are coming to the system. See, in crossing no more here doctors, no, they could, make use of them. But to say, almost year residents now, you into your McKenty. I mean, all national service because to me, you about 3 months when you into your work. I hope so that has been resolved. Hopefully, things will get better. All right.
When the problem, I'm sorry about this case, will probably enlighten African countries in quite fast from the healthcare system.
Oh, okay.
Healthcare system, about you cannot do anything.
Okay. All right. So tonight we are looking at the components of healthcare. We're going to look at the aspect of the United States health system and then vis-a-vis in juxtaposition with that of some African countries. So when we talk about the components of healthcare system, the delivery, there are 4 main components that I know of. I know the financial aspect, the insurance, the delivery, and the payment. We're going to also look at the historical aspect of it. To do that will be Dr. Ernest Opoku Agyeman. So at this time, I will leave the platform for him to take us through the components and what he has to teach us tonight. Doc, over to you.
Yeah, so I mean, so when we talk about the healthcare services, we are looking at 4 major steps in the United States system. In their system, there is no central governing agency of the U.S. healthcare system. No central agency or govern that healthcare system. What I mean here is that the Ministry of Health will take care of the healthcare system, even though it's under the advice of the health secretary. And the second component part the technological driven delivery system it focuses on the acute issues. Now the third part in fact high cost and unequal in access and average in outcome. What it is the way the healthcare system is built here. We always talk about equal access, but that is really impossible because it's the equal access is related to the income. And we cannot say everybody can have equal access and have equal care. What it means here is that you can have care based on your income.
Okay.
For instance, we are doing a high industry here, a lot of money, they can offer you good insurance. And now we are doing company be a very low income you can offer you insurance, but you're not going to get quality insurance. That is how I can explain that to you. And the delivery of healthcare, again, it also shows that some of them are imperfect. They have imperfect market conditions. I don't know. We talk about the insurance. This is about the way I must sell market and healthcare to public. It is something like say the cheapest one, no basic care, and also the most expensive one. Maybe I'll cost will co-pay or say additional banner or cost and more admission. There's a amount of it. It all goes back our income. Somewhere it's income driven at a certain point in time. And when you talk about the characteristics of the healthcare system now, we have to understand it that the healthcare and the healthcare to American life, should be related to the healthcare and healthcare of American life. And you have to identify it and analyze it, defining the characteristics of U.S. healthcare system. You have to identify the major issues now that are concerned with the current system. U.S. they are currently what is happening. How can we improve upon that? And that is driven by the healthcare system. Instead of the static one, yes, I'm the healthcare system. What you are saying. And again, with this, we are going to look at it from what is the importance of the healthcare and healthcare to American life. one thing is that Americans believe in good healthcare is an essential foundation for being able to function in a society and to enjoy life. That is the good health. You need a good health in order to function well and live in a society and live with a good life. The second aspect is that millions of Americans work in healthcare delivery and depending on the healthcare industry for jobs. So, Obi Onoma, industry, and they are working in the industry to provide certain things via jobs.
Okay.
The healthcare industry is like a manufacturing company. And there are certain individuals that are more working for money. And when they are working for money, they will do the best that they can in order to provide the best equipment. Healthcare delivery very, very effective. The people like equipment suppliers, equipment. People like pharmaceuticals. People like all on the humans who are just supply. Also, they are your suppliers. And I almost see down the construction industries. And I kitchen workers but I don't know we better with the drivers we deliver workers now computer specialists so we now and yes our accountants lawyers maintaining and laundry personnel and the security officers now. What I mean here is the healthcare system has this kind of elements now.
A multi-business company.
When we are multi-business company, no more form that healthcare system. And be one year or contribute toward the development and also toward the caring of the people in the hospital. We depend on the individual no power. The individual no power, you might need all this care, you may need equipment, that's so when you a new pharmaceutical, when you supply and tomorrow the back at hospital material. Ubenya a dying of them, hospital as a burden, Ubenya, the them, put the house over the who did things will be a bedroom, workers no more bedroom, almost they have to drive. And it also go to the roads. The roads like coming in acquire the phone has become part of the hospital plan. And computer when you hospital now, you record the Honoma, and also it's part of the hospital bill. And Sana that accountant, Sika Richia, one of the Ebiana Yakoya Bibiana, who be more boy, you go to the lawyer. And and I was trying to be a Sunday, they have to wash it, you have to get to the laundry. And I would have also be a little bit about they need the security. All these things come in to make the hospital a hospital.
A whole entity. I say holistic entity, yeah, everything is there.
I can cross electricity will be here can and they need electricity person. Also, obey connect can about Bob Beshi, Bob Bob, few baby about. And when you are thinking about hospital, it is not so I push down a seal. Now the best and we hospital. It's all these components or units here, must be part and parcel of the planning phase of the building of that hospital in order to be able to deliver effectively to the people. And Sana companies in the TCC.
Okay, and we share US a health delivery system now. Now to compare Canada, can we say we are almost at par?
Yeah, Canada deal with Commonwealth method. On say they no asom could deal line for appointment and then you wait until the appointment reaches before you go. Unlike Canada and US, you can go to anywhere. So yes, John Hopkins care now if you say papa mawa, wait my call we did another healthcare delivery system.
So in other words, in the upper chain say US a capitalist now, Canada yes socialist now, sort of.
And should I yes socialist, but one part a little bit different from that of the Americans way. American for them a little bit different. US then Britain then almost the same because Britain you have to go and make an appointment and wait. Whereas you can just make your appointment until you say a blue so you cannot go. How's the appointment is independent to you? When I make appointment now and say and system insurance system like I said when you shouldn't do Who they are not there. When I make my appointment with you, you give me a date. When the date comes, I come there and do my whatever I want to do.
Okay, all right. May I remind your listeners, baby, on what in a minute, and we are now. Mama will go into the history of haircare in the United States. Just a minute.
C'est mon père, ça me fait bien tiens. Tu me fais dire non kotu, era one radio. C'est mon père, tu me fais bien tiens. Tu me fais dire non kotu, era one radio. Oh, and you pam chima. Asam pam chima.
Watching Era One Radio Studios. We are coming to you live from Facebook, YouTube, and Modern Ghana Radio. I'm in the studio tonight with Dr. Ernest Opoku Agyeman, who is taking us through, who just gave us some insight into the components of healthcare system. All right, Doc. So we know that currently Obamacare is an integral factor of the health system in this country. But before that, can you give us a little bit of insight into going into memory lane of the history of the United States medical healthcare?
When you look at the United States healthcare, it started with the President Teddy Roosevelt. The national healthcare system, governed by the insurance, was started by Roosevelt somewhere in 1912. And then, in 1912, they drafted a bill for mandatory health insurance, that everybody should have health insurance. That was somewhere in 1915. In 1921, Shepherd Tower, they said the Town Act. You have something they call the Shepherd Tower Turner Act was passed. So, state be a match the BT funds of the assisted parental and child health care. And state be a matching it. And so on, in 1929, and Bella Hospital, prepaid hospital. Bella Fund started prepaid hospital insurance group. So the higher the rest of the home. And that thing was also it evolved again in 1934. And in 1934, there was another discussion of health insurance. It went to the legislature for them to implement something there. And then later on, in 1939, the Department of Health and Human Resources was born. So the federal gave birth to Department of Health and Health Insurance in 1939. And in 1939, what came next was in 1944, FDR establishes economic bill of rights, including rights to adequate medical care. And they also formulated another bill, adequate, which means that the healthcare they did initially was not adequate. They made a new adequate healthcare bill, the best support to what they have already to make it. That thing happened somewhere in 1944. 1944, Korea, it was during the Second World War. I think the First World War has ended, and a year after it, that the Second World War also ended. So 1945, Harry Truman continued pushing the compulsory coverage. Now, still now, the Obama recently, that thing had not covered the whole country. There were certain people who already really had the
privilege. Okay.
Privilege. So there was an act which was put across called Hale-Burton Act to fund the construction of health hospitals. And so I acted to fund the construction of hospitals in many places in order to get enough coverage. And the Truman in 1947 continued to push this thing. So they had another bill, Wagner-Murray Dengel bill, and then Taft bill. Both were reintroduced. The introduction of those things are all trying to bring healthcare into the nation so that anybody or everybody will be on board. But all the same, no, it didn't work. In 1949, the Supreme Court upheld the National Labor Relations Board decision to allow this benefit to be included in the collective bargaining. They have to go into collective bargaining as it's going on now. The collective bargaining has never ended. They kept on going, but things were getting up. When the prices of the healthcare system is getting up, a lot of people cannot go into it. So not all of them are going to get a healthcare system. So in 1951, there was a joint commission on the accreditation of the hospitals formed. And they have to get some kind of accreditations before the hospital can be allowed to work. And then this was formed in 1951. In 1952, the Federal Security Agency proposes a enactment of health insurance for Social Security beneficiaries. This is what is going on for Social Security, those who own Social Security here now. I don't know, twice between 1954 to 1981, the same employee contributions, any workers' contribution now, recently, hospitals now, maybe I will be able to maybe I also quite member. So, insurance, there be insurance no matter. Who contribute to it? And a man also contribute to it.
Okay.
Or maybe insurance in the amount. Insurance in the insurance. And 1950, 60 hormone and a federal health benefit plan so by FEHBP fund. Initiative to provide health insurance coverage to federal workers. I know the Charles Winnie Nelson. That kind of insurance maybe
yeah, try can yeah.
In 1960, and a car marks on the act passes the act now Tron that passing using the federal funds to support state programs, providing medical care to the poor and elderly, precursor to Medicaid. It was the answer to Medicaid, Bebano, Carmels or Tro Act. The act no or provide he said young voters can be insurance being to home. That's the insurance in the what now here for no actually was already the insurance now no matter how a lot of people were not having care. And this Carmels the act now try na more certain and no na the medical care. No, madam, here for any can inform more because medical care. But that was the initial plan for the Medicaid program now. In this Kennedy plan also install another lobby in the medical industry just to reduce the cost of Medicare. And 1965, and Medicaid and Medicare programs. They signed it by Lloyd Johnson. Lloyd Johnson signed it by entity of the U.S. healthcare system. It is also Charles Nixon in 1971. He backed this thing with a proposal. So, and he as he went on, 1972, then they found a way to supplement this, with some social security income. We bring the program and provide cash assistance to elderly and disabled. The next thing by also the twice. The next thing to about 375 million to support to the project yes, I have Medicaid and Medicare. Jimmy Carter, 1976. And also he came to fortify it. He came to fortify it in the sense that he elected. As he was elected the president, he called for a comprehensive national health insurance review. A larger coverage to those who have insurance. It appears here that insurance may cover them a baby, but Jimmy Carter by and Obama national universal national mandatory coverage. In 1983, and also we introduced another payment system in our hospitals. Payment system now person who call another prepaid, they say one we have a larger good
coverage, yeah.
The secretary 1986, the Emergency Medical Treatment Active Labor Act on Subai. Now, on the Medicaid, treat all ER patients regardless of your ability to pay. In 1986, now, so introduction, I said, okay, sir, your Medicaid or and I teach schedule to hold more. You support Medicaid there. Emergency care there. Senka, will be an emergency care there and say, this could be a free. That act was came in 1986. And the COBRA enacted provided a coverage for up to 18 months for employees who lose their work. And Tina, Sabrina normally COBRA no started from 1986. The COBRA's issue is so we are doing now 18 months to do any media. And that is the renovations are about healthcare since 1912. But 1993, Bill Clinton convened a White House task force on health reform. Within first week of the appointment, I don't need another chairperson for that reform. One more HIPAA a buy. I'm introducing HIPAA buy. A woman almost introduced you SHIP by SCHIP. I'm acting as part of the balance Sikasama and cost of healthcare. George Bush by 2003 also be increased the cost of Medicare. Improve or modernize the act of a Modernization Act or the creative voluntary subsidized prescription drugs benefits and under medical care administration and exhaustive through private persons, so on private plans. And that was introduced into the system by President Bush. In 2007, Bush announces healthcare reform plan that could replace the current tax preference of employees sponsored insurance with standard healthcare deductions. You know, Bush they have to get a standard deduction. In the presidential campaign focuses early in the national health, which is out here. One more campaign. I'm sorry, US. One more campaign. Health form. Some health form. One more campaign was because someone said that we are interested in it.
Sure.
2008, Barack Obama established the Office of Healthcare Reform to coordinate administration effort to national health insurance. You know, Obama by the reform, the reform 2009 Senator Kennedy issued healthcare bill or proposed that all Americans have access to essential health benefits. You know, every person in America should have a certain kind of benefit here. In short, when they came out with the General Health Insurance Program, reauthorized this. And you know, so Americans have been doing a reform upon reform for things Medicaid and Medicare. Medicaid and Medicare and hospital facilities. And you know, the question I ever posed to answer: who are the stakeholders of healthcare who constrains or prepare change? And you know, one more stakeholders will healthcare. No matter one more prepare changes. That is where maybe I want to draw our attention to.
Okay, and the dog, Wakasawaya, the Wabaya Bakosam very, 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 very well. I mean, one my history that is adequate. My mema won't Monsieur Kakra, and I was Wakasa, but I mean, take it add quickly from your sponsors. Now, Ibana, Yatraso.
Hello, beautiful people of Ghana. This is Banahine Specialist Hospital. We are so excited to announce to our people Ghana that we are finally opened and we are accepting patients. At Banahine Specialist Hospital, our extraordinary physicians and nurses are here to provide a high-quality medical service to our extraordinary patients. Our services include primary care services, maternal, neonatal, and pediatric services. We also have an in-house pharmacy. We have x-ray and laboratory services available to you. Come to us for all your healthcare needs and you will be happy you did because we believe the health is wealth. Thank you, and stay blessed.
Yes, you are listening to Era One Radio on our broadcast show live from Facebook and YouTube and also Modern Ghana Radio. This is the health wing of the Era One Radio studio or station. And in the hot seat tonight is one and only Binfo Leonard, Dr. Epidemiologist, Dr. Ernest Opoku Agyeman. Before the break, he had already given us a history of healthcare in the United States. And he was also getting ready to give us the stakeholders and how far we have come. So, Doc, back to you.
Okay. Now, there's something that we all have to understand. Which people are the components of healthcare? The healthcare, how is it at all? Now, the healthcare is based on four different things.
Okay.
Let's say 4 people. We have the patient, we have the payer, we have the employers, and we have the providers. And you know, it's a patient in your hospital in your.
That's true.
And the patients want to pay and you are workers in your. And I pay and you want my employers in your. And I provide a new one so on the man and sending into me.
Yeah, I'm working.
And you know, now, son, and never, sorry. Son, and say I can't want to say me. And my healthcare a little bit complex. The complexity, man, and say, it's a say, and say, and sugar, and free one source. And I say, and free, yari and free tobacco, be a moving into a little bit complex in this situation. And then let's look at it from, you said, how many payers? We talk about the payers now. A chain. So I say, we are Juma. And you're too sick at it too. And the offer with man and mouse can be a can. Now, the offer with man, I compare insurance at the amount. So, insurance, no, out of the amount, others say I buy and that's a local government insurance, not the amount. And not any year will base with the Ebenya insurance. The person is should be because those strangers now we are in this country. We have some problem identifying how this thing works. You work, they pay you, and some deductions are made. The deductions are complemented by your employer, and your employer looks for insurance for you. That is the basis to get healthcare in the system here. Secondly, who are the employers? The employers are those people now, they have the qualities to establish an industry, and they employ people there to come and work. And the employer in local language, this will be a group to be an answer, Nipapa could be an answer, could be an answer, Bushabia, or managerial and organizational level, or my binuma, or mutimi a beer juma, or many employers. And Yabusha said, one they are providers. Providers, any doctors, nurses, technicians, any woman in fact, any pharmaceutical companies, any medical technologies, any other healthcare providers. So I who are we are no Okasa component. No more for no. Now, for you, and I say, a conversion I will fast home because I'm sure structure a woman, sir, who are patient. Now, we need provider, we need me for hospital. And so we a patient, now we need payer, we need me for hospital. So we a patient now, one we need be a prayer, no, you may be, and that's why I could be a prayer perform a juma. Oh, so this is the 4 components. As I say, a TRCS, you know, Doc, me person, a be our question, be a bit of money, and I'm not to us, but I hear pay.
Okay, since the question, person, I just want to go back on the components of the healthcare. I was looking at this issue. Say, the first part of I think we've already what can who be the first part, as you said, ensuring the patient comfortable and to secure a good process. And the second one here, the medical facility, whether it's clean and sanitary. And a third aspect, health insurance, which I think you're going to come to that later. And a fourth component will be the actual healthcare. And one thing you brought out to light was the fact that you use the word provider. Most people know if you say be a provider, and you're just doctor no physician no, but from your explanation, pharmacists they are all providers, which is a very good illustration. Fourth component, healthcare, which comprises the medical practice, the hospitals, the health professionals, the biotechnology, diagnostic laboratories, and all that aspect. It's a very good illustration on him. I think the question I have is, after saying all this, what are some of the things that will mitigate against a good healthcare system? See, a good healthcare system, then it to me, the system we want to enjoy.
Yeah, that's a good question. Do this stage, you have to compare two things and see which group provide the best medical care. And in fact, within US, there are certain institutions that provide better healthcare than others.
Okay.
Because and I said, prevention hospital and so
okay, Kaiser Permanente in San Kaiser
Permanente and other places. So in the contest, insurance determine baby episode.
The quality.
The quality.
Well, so at least so if you want a quality, you should have the ability to pay. That'll let you know where you want to go. Because Obi only good health system, no. Or so for now one emergency in the family, and no hospital now say baby. Emergency they can't refuse you. Until eventually now one will take you to somewhere for you to have your primary health system. But after that, no, and the determines so Obeko John Hopkins and I say Obeko a him for hospital clinic and I say depends.
So what I was when I this small course providers in course and then this providers we insurance and our insurance and we determine what kind of provider they are. So it will PPO, you have HMO, and
yeah.
So provider net or provider and the better. Next provider one now we determine who provider what jumamu agency no contribution away,
and how much they can afford.
How much you are paying there. You can pay for PPO over there, or you can pay for HMO over there. And you pay PPO over there, you do call emergency. PPO provider no will come there. So you do call agency no more information the patient that has it. And he come there, so me patient ni. Oh, you don't know, so move on to John Hopkins. And I'm a patient ni. You move on to regional hospital. So, and also move on to nursing home. And then I know that they determine maybe I say do because who HMO, you say go down hospital, who call emergency. There's your bed for the 3 days emergency crowd for 24 hours. What about that 24 hours? No, why will you because it's not coffee? If this one now crown here. So that's a HMO there. You can talk until they can push you to another point. We will get a very good care. So I will say the city, and looking at the perspective of the provider area, in reference to payer. So if you pay now, who pay no, and they determine who continuity our care now in a very luxury place or non-luxury place. I can just say
yeah, yeah.
Because it is going to be very difficult to have equality in healthcare. It is not going to happen. As long as the pay structure and the conditions are not the same, the healthcare equalization can never be anywhere in this world, except the unilaterally acceptance will be a hospital winners. But basic thing there is going to be equal.
And I think that was the essence of Obamacare, to kind of level
That is
some care.
basic care. Get a basic care. You have to get a basic care. No, we are going to say Abana might be bigger.
Jiko Didi.
You come with Diana. You can't Ghana the on say. I mean, let me go into this again. And now, we share healthcare system now. You have components: payer, employer, patient, and providers. And our previous one, you discussing, you can be provider, patient, payers, and employers. And one very elaborate here saying, when they employ pharmacists, when they employ nurses, when they employ doctors, when they employ other health facilities, it is not the work of the government. And the government can employ doctors. Woman say government doctor and FOB because hospital. No. Nurses no more money now. It's not the government. So, but we have to know the secret of this issue here. The issue here is me na a employer. So me a employer. And me builders now me were building no my mama see hospital na me. Another company that be see hospital na man. Ono na you aya to be see hospital. Say go for see hospital no. Won kwa na nyina we dia confusion be wu. So, and na me so me CEO, when I'm say me CEO agency bi afa me. Agency no, ono so me person me die nipa bi eba ha say. Enti me bi eba I will look for components bi amoma boa me. It is our components no call healthcare providers in bi or say, this me we say enti me here this kind of group bi. Or say me so me ma o, me ba be twan wo ho no. No for doctors no ma hwe wo. Wo so me so me ba betra no ma for nurses no ma hwe wo. Wo so me so company me ba be hwe we say ma hwe laboratory. Wo so me hwe we na ma hwe pharmaceutical for say be ba e be so pramuno. Wo so say na me so me for pharmacy am na ba ho. And you see the whole components of people are omo yes aduma. And now call hospital will be on because will be a component be our when they are important ura omo be coach ho nyina no. So, and into no okwa, just a nona abandon negotiating self, they could negotiate monitoring your manusmana, and Nipania Quina, Omuntimina Apomodin, na Omunia Pomodia, Omuntimia hospital. And you know more on my hospital via lab, war lab, no, our Yajman, Omomade, near my Bremo, lab, Mamma Yajman. So, I can't know by now convey. And Yamana Brown also a part of the deal. It's not a manufacturer and also a part of the deal. And and none of my healthcare building, a government cannot. The government can at least build the regional hospitals. I mean, one national hospital be there, but only to mean build a hospital for any community. Because the government didn't say about build a hospital, the government's will be wasted. It's a long-term thing. And I government no young for be increased. It is not good say government visit hospital. All that he means he has to allow private hospital. Omo do ma biri bom. No mu esi na oma jijo mu ntekunu nsrako. Enti omo si hospital no ehia omo da e wo wiase ya mbae. Because when are they going to finish? Omo na nanu be ya omo ma be di omo ma na nanu be di omo na nanu be discuss because they be a chase come on. And that is the nature of how to organize hospitals. And the about efficiency, efficacy and efficiency, because I have competition. Will be a person surprise idea a good quality thing you know the home. And always empower that's first near the inside and then wine say yeah. The people have been that all the things say now the BBA home. She say
Kosuanati era one radio empenyini say yensuma na motenten yesuma benyasafo era one radio. Yedin nsem anumuaye ebre
Kwaso adok
she say utia baby anaro say me and pano kosra
automated
now than possible for you
yeah just still no kon ya chia o kon ma
the policy on the imetwa ni nyina yesika
wetua
no ma bebre assistance and when ya company wo wire bi ma enye wa bi say wanya no pa usika bi na yaje abetua aka you obi attend to you is paid.
Exactly.
The laboratory is paid. Even the cleaner in the system is also paid. You have trash na go to you also paid. The more dealing with the trash over there, they also pay.
Until hospital, nurses no more judgment. Yes, I mean, they are paid to do their job, but almost nice naturally. But so almost a doctor nurse be yeah, yes, one half and answer with Tinty and also Titi and no, just so Ejima Yachanica.
That's the whole thing. It is a hospital. I am dwell on how to establish hospital. In this hospital, establish hospital. You Chrome and Ghana and Africa. That hospital must be built by the government. Absolutely untrue.
What's a starting point? I mean, you can't say the private sector will do everything. I mean, that is why people have faith in the government. So, okay, that is it. I mean, you can employ your private, citizens and let them do some of the job. And maybe but then we are disappointed. Entering another case, then don't be a spectator. And now what is the term he used? But be a participant.
And again, also Abayno said the city and say, me buy a busy hospital. Now say me time a tsunami qua, me see. So me praying, who see who next government now ban.
I mean, Mama show phone quickly.
Sampa bietia Chimafidi non kotu Era one radio Samupe Jumpa bietia Chimafidi non kotu Era one radio Oh Ayum pamchima Chintu Asam pamchima
Listening to or watching the one and only radio station, Era One Radio, broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube and also on Modern Ghana Radio. Tonight, the Health Wing is discussing the components of healthcare in the United States and also in part of Africa and other parts of the world. Well, with me, the discussion is Dr. Ernest Opoku Agyeman, who is actually doing most of the talking. I am only moderating. So when Doc comes back, we'll continue.
Okay. Sorry, sir. And what we are saying is the government cannot build it alone.
That's true.
That is the reason, sir. If the government is building it alone, the government can never do the supply alone.
They are four women. They are beautiful with brains. They are eloquent, decent, wise, and experienced. You have heard many, the funny. Now, it's time to hear the experience and the brain. Meet Selena, Dorcas, Gifty, and Annette as they present the real Income Getting. Income BISS, the dead, as in Takenuasu, the dead, the real Income Getting. Showing live this and every Sunday, 7 p.m. on Era One Radio on Facebook and on YouTube, Era One Radio and on Taibo channel. Kaise, so we see the real Income Getting what Brabant it. We the real Income Getting.
And the doc, I'm saying about 2-3 minutes. I see a wrap up. Then patch your time now. Can you bet me I can be about the Ghanaian system? One thing about traveling, say, others the way other systems operate, and the only way we can also contribute is to also find a way we can reach back to our people. Not just only in the classroom, but then in the practical sense, in what we have learned. If you were to talk to the government of Ghana or some other aspects of the African continent in terms of health system, what would you advise them?
Yeah, looking at what the Ghanaian system, I think that the health system a de-abanisi for some reason. I would strongly advise the government to privatize hospitals. Now, all that the government will be doing is subsidize it, and maybe now after we'll make it certain reform so that we are able to meet the need of the people. Because I share about sika or the insurance I can once means abana na import to no deba, abana na import hospital, abana na import beds, abana na AC dano, adanti insurance na abana person he can't do it. From where is he getting all this money to do the insurance? So, Obina operating hospital, no, was seen it dying, said they are missionaries, and this is one die on operating hospitals. And then Abano insurance, he had enough money because the deposits dying, the import to do. Now you can believe, sir, a loan costs millions and billions of money every year. And when on Kabaya, a Canada or that hospital now, or agency now, and then the pharmaceutical companies, some companies, some Obama, any laboratory for no Obama, a woman no much charge. Into how much charge the government, the ones of the insurance amount of. The insurance are the government for no, and no crown they have to contribute. So when we are doing now, just can be now, would be calculated a demand for this account. Now, what you more taxes, so the Bayer, Emma, Empire, advocacy and so on. And Jinabano, who wants to win the breed. And that is where this country they have been able to, and I said, a place like Japan, a place of Sweden, a place like Norway, Germany, other countries, they have been able to survive. Because someone is here, I can say, among resources here, they couldn't have done it. There are some people who are badly rich who can do that. The government should open that thing to them for them to do it. That's why basic thing is that sometimes they give you in grass and maybe deprived areas now. Then he does that. I as a government as a see all the countries are. That is wasting of money. You can do that.
Doc, what can say about the role the government can play? One area I borders on the ports because there are. I heard a story about one of my seniors, since I would be school or Ghana. I mean, he's doing it on his own with his wife and family. The problem they are going through is, being able to ship stuff to Ghana and the tariffs that you're going to pay. It's very difficult. I was thinking, buying shipment is animal cost tariffs duty na there were a port no better so. I mean, I'm sure so one video be about a car be say any trotro but car here Kumasi in a long distance be never pay sika no super yes police point to me interdict car now to say be do close to Accra cars is no say to me if you road the so basically if you road which means the government should make it very flexible, very easy for people to be able to bring in new equipment, new cars, never old ones can be phased away because who call Habwa fees are tariffs, tax and go pay to bring in equipment, cars from outside no. It's enormous. And I think that is where the starting point should be. So we can say privatization should come in. Individuals should be able to construct buildings and equipment. Best now there will make an example of Empa, me about Timbiana Nankasa, I just have Basra from the Ghana home producers are a best and equipment. They have to import them. Now, we import so we do have also fees are bit it's astronomical. And so I think that's one area we should look at. If the government will listen and reduce duty tariffs now, it will help a long way. Otherwise, people are not going to come and invest. That is my.
I'll give you a honor, US did not come out with this complex beds and other things one day. So they started with wooden beds, they call plastic beds, and they call molding beds, and I call lifting turning belt. And also, development doesn't come in a day.
Okay, progresses.
Your good people go country one, they can make beds. This is where collective thing. You look at those people now; they are very good at that area, and then you group them and supply them with a certain amount. You support some lines in this then they will start producing them.
Okay.
They produce them, you furnish them. Now, hospital. They send it there. Now, also this car. Also, the Mexican continue my demand cost. So, the baby inside the hospital. Then he pay the dash, so now the money goes back to him. Then also that is what is happening in the capitalist countries. And and what one units or obey improve on the oil. But in Yana ya Kano, we won't mean that yes, we can't say one baby. Now, one sad story, pray woman say, all these things the country be when you are my year be. It is here. Just go and get self who just say to now you are the corner and say we. Now just now I can't tab only be not be any too. Computer repairs, you'll be able to produce a cell phone by yourself. By and large, once I want to open a market and another producer, we don't think. So we are not innovatives. So we don't want to do something a bit brain. So the hospital has my account. Hospital is CST. Government is hospital be Ghana. This is what because they want the government to provide everything, but that is not how it should be done. About so one crime obviously done an investment or the investment more. On ton components no matter trauma pharmaceutical, trauma carpenter for, trauma laboratory technicians for, trauma x-ray for, number of the minimum tax. And that is how the government can earn money. That's a government no one extra machine every good hospital, or no we have go. Say nipa na kasa de ono extra machine eba ho no o maintaining where. And there's no other day best because we hear sika. So that is the way the government can go. So that is the shortest advice I can give to the government. Now I think that if the government goes in this direction, it is more likely say the cost of expenditure it will come down.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ernest Opoku Agyeman. Well, listeners, tonight the doctor has led us in the discussion of the components of healthcare, the characteristics, the units of care, the insurance, patient-centered care, and all that. You can go back to YouTube or Facebook and pull the clip. You should be able to rewatch the program and advise yourself. We have learned so much from the doctor. Doc, thank you very much. We'll closing remarks in 30 seconds.
I'm about to about company because near person a chilemo a coin be a work room ha ubet medical hospital. Yeah, no. It is Yami Aduma 2 weeks today. We'll continue from there. Now, Yama one who said, "You who components now we're handling now, but now me I'm a ordinary person. But some cost per where do I go?"
Okay.
No. You be do on my back and I'm a.
All right. So on behalf of our CEO, Dr. Osei and the Era One team, I want to thank you for watching this program with us. And like I said, go back to YouTube or Facebook and pull the clip back and keep on watching. Era One is a 24/7 program. We have programs outlined throughout the week. Mondays through Sundays, there is program, everything, music. You can enjoy music on our radio program. There is always so much to enjoy. So, Doc, thank you very much. And I'll see you, like you said, 2 weeks time. All right, have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, beautiful people of Ghana. This is Banahine Specialist Hospital. We are so excited to announce to our people Ghana that we are finally opened and we are accepting patients. At Banahine Specialist Hospital, our extraordinary physicians and nurses are here to provide a high-quality medical service to our extraordinary patients. Our services include primary care services, maternal, neonatal, and pediatric services. We also have an in-house pharmacy. We have X-ray and laboratory services available to you. Come to us for all your healthcare needs, and you will be happy you did, because we believe the health is wealth. Thank you, and stay blessed.